So I was wondering where my keys were earlier. I couldn't find them. I haven't found them in a couple weeks, and I'm thinking maybe they're gone. I don't know. So well, maybe they're here. I'm pulling out of the car wash with where the air blows. It's a really nice car wash here. It's expensive, but it seems it really gets the car clean. Higher pressure, and the water jets, and then it has the air dry. I was going to manually do it, but I'm like, they don't have an air dry here, so. So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden my keys appear on my hood. Here, clink, and I'm like, they're on my hood. Like, what is that? I guess what I did was, I think I must have lifted the hood and put them under there, put them there, or I put them on the, like, in front of the glass, and it slid inside, and the air popped them outside. But it's strange because that's how life's supposed to work, though. Like for everything. Like I say, I want to be married, find a woman within a day or two. That's how it's supposed to work. So it took them real time focusing on me like that for things not to happen, including medical things and everything else. Again, they're in here projecting the untruths, the falsehoods, and the false witnesses. That was strange. Can't remember if I prayed or not. I don't know if I was that worried about it. Maybe ask the Lord, but the Lord, Lord's there, and Lord listens. Like, where? Then after it happened, the spirit voice picked up and said, "That's how life's supposed to work, but it's not even supposed to be like that. You're not even supposed to lose your keys." Right. And once a person's disabled, there's no more tests. The Lord's not like that. Correct. Thank you, Mary. So in honor of my baptism in the LDS, I went out and bought all new white underwear, undergarments, and then I bought a big white towel. But kind of like, I stopped, and I don't know if I got my van completely dry. I was in awe. I'm like, there's my keys. So the air went in and blew it out into the hood, onto the hood. I mean, anything could happen. It could have blew it the other direction. I never would have saw it. Right. ACR keeps coming up. That's Armored Cavalry Regiment. I'm not sure why. IR, Ingersoll Rand came up next. IR, sort of night vision. Armored Cavalry Regiment. Now, that's still coming up. Everything sounds like a gun for some reason. So, oh, no, don't tell me I don't have one. I thought I had my garage door open right here, which is not good because I usually know when I don't have it in here. And all right, I gotta go back to my apartment, see if I can find it. But now I found my key to lose my jiggers there. Thank you, Larry. As far as smuggling, checking to make sure the thingy works because it got wet. Right. So down in Texas, I think it was, or New Mexico, I can't remember where it was, but there's a new location that they used to use, but now it's got much more traffic. Right. So which is what I told you would probably happen, but that's one that we know of. There's probably other ones that we don't know of yet. Eventually, they're going to go other places. Travel further. This is actually not too cool because I do not, for the life of me, know where this thing is. I know I've seen it, but I thought it was in my car at this point. I've gone to my storage unit for several things already. And they keep cursing me, cursing my storage unit and all sorts of stuff. There's no doubt. Now, I'm usually pretty good with that thing. Sure, I have it somewhere. It's just a matter of where. So, make a long story short, you have to look for those new locations. And again, it could be a tunnel. So, what you have to do is you have to kind of calculate. Again, like I said, you need those intelligence analysts. And you need to figure out. Or are you missing something? Well, you have knowledge of prior numbers based upon a certain level of traffic. So now you have to look to see if the current numbers in traffic kind of balances out. Quick relaunch. And if it doesn't, then you might be missing an infiltration route or several infiltration routes. And again, it could be a tunnel. Again, they're very with a lot of ingenuity, and they're very desperate to find a way in. Now, you're going to have less people trying because the risks are larger, but maybe not. Well, if you avoid the cities, there's probably a lot less probability that any such thing could happen. Yeah, it's kind of aggravating. I can't find my garage door opener. I know I did walk over there before. Well, their curse is effectuated. Again, they may not have cursed my garage door opener away, but may have cursed something that effectuated that way. And you may have had tunnels operating that you didn't know about already anyway. All right, I gotta keep looking. Yeah, something's imminent. Right now, it's not because I'm going to be baptized. Right, but I'm noticing something. I don't know if you're investigating any particular cases. It might be imminent. Just be careful when you're stinging somebody. Don't put them into it if you think that they wouldn't do it without you. Right. 100% Larry. Agreed, Larry. Right. Use your powers of persuasion. Right. Yeah, I see they're cursing. I think so. So I found my keys. Satan must have been mad. Right. I lost my garage door opener, and my numbers don't work over there. Like I don't think anybody can break in because I can't even get in with the number pad. I got to tell the dude here he's got to reprogram it. All right. Now this is scary where I can't find it. I'm usually pretty good with it. Yeah, and I usually don't leave my keys on my in that well between the glass and the hood. I think that's where it was. It doesn't make sense. I thought it was in my car. I don't have enough data to know whether what's going on there. That's why they kept me out. But you should be able to look at the data and calculate whether you think you're on the money or missing something. Satan's have me find stuff that looks like it, and then when I get closer, it's not. Oh, there we go. No, it's not. Thank you, Larry. Look in here. Look at Larry. Yeah, you can also some of those areas that you normally don't patrol. You can. Again, you want to put people that are knowledgeable out to recon it first to make sure that you don't put the soldiers in harm's way and stuff. But what you want to do is you like your armored cavalry regiments and stuff like that. You can pull them out on like a field training exercise, but make it a real world mission. So you have to probably do some train up before you go out, right? Unless you're rotating people in and they've been on the border before, right? Thanks, Larry. And then you want to patrol those other areas that may be more remote, because you could actually, they can go on a long recon, right? Just like you would in combat. But you're not gonna shoot them up, right? So you could take what units aren't on that mission and take them out on a field training exercise to recon the areas that you usually don't look at, or necessarily you don't look at, but areas that you've noticed before that there's nobody really selecting those areas for various reasons. I'm sure you got some border patrol people that do some of that, but again, you're real busy with other stuff. So. No, they never gave me even a day's rest. They act like I'm a criminal and you're going to get me to confess to a crime. It's all BS, right? Yeah, they're just wearing me out. They're trying to kill me in reality. I actually took years off my life doing it. Thanks, sir. They in here acting like they had a chance at life. Any place I got to was just limited, then they shut it down so no life could go on. Everybody would give them attaboys like they're protecting somebody. Weirdos. This is not cool, but again, it's got to be in my vehicle like I thought, I imagine. I guess we're getting towards the end of the tree pollen here soon. Well into May. Almost into June. Well, it decreases. All right, it's trying to mess up. Let me give these out later to people that help. Just trying to mess these up. These things should be right here somewhere. I know I did walk over, but I thought I put it back in the vehicle. It's definitely Satan because I can feel him. And he's trying to put shit in my head. I should have probably put it in there. Things don't always work. It's not making sense at all. Only because I'm usually pretty careful. Oh, there it is. I'm sitting on it. Okay. It makes sense to me because I'm usually pretty careful with it. So there's there. Yeah, there's something's imminent, and I have no idea what it is. Right? Like, I mean, something with a gun. It's not going to happen with a gun. Maybe multiple events. Thank you, Larry. Or a larger event. But again, when you sting somebody, make sure you're not the impetus to put them over the edge when they probably wouldn't do it without you. Don't be like that. Right? Don't be seeking fame like that. Yeah, you might not be the most famous agent in the world, but you won't go to hell, you know? A lot of those famous agents are going to hell. Real hell. Yeah, a lot of people make crime, man. Glad I found it. What I'm trying to do is find a backpack, a larger backpack. I think I have one in storage, but I don't know. It'd just be easier for this thing. A little backpack I got. All right, let's take a look here. Take a look see. Here, broadcast my whole day. All right, let's see what we got here. Nice backpack here before, a big one. I haven't seen it, so it's got to be somewhere. Let's see it anywhere. It could be in one of these boxes, but I don't think I saw it recently. Strange. I had two larger backpacks. They're not showing up. And I know I was in these things before. I didn't think I would have recognized it was there. Could have been thieves. And it could be them trying to get me to buy another backpack, if you know how that works. Right. Well, why is he buying another backpack? Not looking like it's here. It's completely empty. Actually, to actually show me this. Oh, it's kind of mildewy. It's kind of dirty. You know, I cleaned it. It's an old Marshal Service thing Donovan gave us before money was widespread. And I spent on this kind of. Yeah, I got to get into here and spend some time going through this. Get stuff out of here. I don't see anything with reference to where that. Until I turn around, I can't find something. These are sizable backpacks. They can't hide. No, I don't believe it's in the apartment. See what's not there. All right. Thank you for the healing, man. I didn't find the black one, but I found the coyote color. There it is. With my towel and everything else in there. Patch on it. It's got the big "In God We Trust" patch on it. The only patch that's wet on it. So that's cool. There was a black one. He directly operated me away from the places I needed to stay healthy. Therefore, again, who are they working for? And I know. I lost you there for a second. It's kind of a psychic thing there. I don't have a lot of information coming in on it. It's just a lot of everything sound like click, 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 click. Again, they could call it PTSD, but it's not. It's a psychic. Actually, I needed this larger bag, or I'd have to go buy one. No, it's the same. It's the cursor. Because my vision came out. Yeah, if I only could have saw it, I could have saved myself. But I couldn't see where they make it out like I'm like trying to hit on a young girl. What would happen is a young girl would like say hi to me a couple times, and then I would say hi to her, and then they do something crazy. Right? A young girl, meaning they'll probably say 21. But you know how it is in the G sex, right? All right. And not looking, unless it's marriage. Thank you, Larry. Well, it's just, I'll tell you right now, it really isn't me stomping. It's really a spell, but we have the psychology is part of it because they'll just articulate it. Oh, he tried to hit on her, and I walk past and go hi. So a girl that kept coming around me, and I guess said hi once or something like that. They say they're trying to stop me from like doing something to young girls, but it doesn't exist. It's bullshit. They're the ones that do shit with young girls, and I think they're approached, and that's why they do it because they're afraid that they'll get, that they'll bust them for it, right? Because they're the ones that actually did it, right? That's how they recruit a lot of people into that stuff by making them believe the only way to stay free is to actually do what they say. Right? So you have to put somebody else into it. Oh, believe me, their will is for me to sexually offend. Believe me. There that wouldn't have happened but for them. They put the person into it. They couldn't track the person got to somebody, raped them, killed them. Some of the most dangerous law enforcement officers that have ever existed. I mean, they're crooks and PIs and all that. Thanks, Larry. Why would I do that? I mean, that's one of the things they say. It's like because you're a crook. All of you. It's the stupidest thing to ask. I agree. If you weren't a crook, you wouldn't be doing it all. I see. Thanks, Larry. Guess I'm going to line this with a trash bag. I wish I had my smaller bags that I gave away now. That's how it works. I wouldn't need them if I didn't give them away. Right? Well, the big thing you have to realize is that people's husbands, brothers, uncles, fathers, grandfathers, went to prison in the grave because these people influenced their minds to that level. That's a good term. I mean, it's immense and intense influence, but not your traditional influence. So they have a need. They're trying to keep it in power, no matter what political party it is, because these people will come for them. Right? They've committed crimes against humanity for decades now. People I work with were like that. It isn't no little thing. Thanks, Sherry. I'm going to pack this bag here for the old baptism. Hopefully nobody's going to shoot me. I go in there to get baptized. So he goes in the church and says, no! Some FBI agent went crazy. No! No, you're so funny, man. Great stuff, man. Like even if it's false, I like wake them up and they start looking, and it works. But it isn't false. Right. Thanks, sir. Change that. Thank you, Larry. Bring an extra pair of socks just in case. And they got me off my andro. I went from andro to a natural andro, and I wouldn't even taken the natural andro, and that's part of why this happened. Also, again, stopped me from going to the gym, stopped me from massage. Right? It's absolutely criminal. It's obvious. But I remember a good part of it was the Jussie Smollett era, but it was also Republicans. It's not only that's the point. There's these people that go either way in the parties that are doing it. Corrupt as the day is long, and so they just keep like changing the world so that it would exist like that, right? So they can use it. Still got time here. I might actually have to try some andro somewhere in the future, but not right now. Whatever, if there's anything legal anymore. Thanks, Larry. There they go. Personally. Well, it's agents and private sector people. They work together to do this. Violate every law and every rule and every regulation. Then they'll tell you they're there to save children. That's their excuse. Right. Well, if I get well, I'll be happy. We'll see if I get there. If the Lord can get me well, I'll be in a church and all that. Now, I could have been real well. I was a really healthy person, a very healthy. I was on the right track to stay healthy. Right. That was just insane. I should have come back real quick. It didn't make any sense to me that I didn't. Again, they could have been putting something in my food. I mean, there was no controlling these people. That's where the Jussie Smollett stuff goes. Jussie Smollett's like a small fry compared to these people. Right. Well, if I can get this all smoothed out and start like doing some strength training a little bit, just light stuff, I might be able to come back a little better. My right side is now relaxing. I did some movement, so I might have to get up early in the morning and start moving some more. But like I said, there's some trigger points that I have to take care of first. Well, I'm really doing this for the LDS Church. I don't know if you understand that, right? They've already told me there probably won't be much for me coming out of the church, right? As far as having a great social life or anything. If I was younger, it would have worked. Right. Right. When I was in Santa Fe, I was trying to figure out a way in. I was trying to get to I think I was trying to get to Salt Lake City, right? Because they had the power for it to happen. That was the key. And I guess I didn't even really know that, but all I knew is I get to Salt Lake City, and there was just no way in. And again, it was deception. Oklahoma is a deception. It's not really a Christian community because Christianity requires a certain ethic that doesn't exist in that place. Thank you, Larry. Again, some of this could be from the allergens, from the pollen. I mean, it's really high here. Right. And I got to Colorado, but I never got out of the Midwest. I was so cramped when I got to Colorado. I was like amazed that I started uncramping a little bit when I leaned a certain way. So again, the key was to get to the massage. I went to a massage, a couple of massage therapists. In Texas, it didn't seem to do anything. Right. So, and then they got my mind. I couldn't get anywhere. I kept trying to think of what to do and trying to think, I should get a massage. And I even tried doing it online where they would come into my apartment and I would film it. That way they couldn't lie on me. Right. I couldn't get through it. Again, these are, $1 million operators. Right. And if they're not, they will be one day. That's how they get in. Okay. They must have blocked all my stuff because Saudi Arabia owes me. Right. I put stuff on social media that Saudi Arabia should have took an interest in helping my life. Right. I'm inside with Saudi Arabia, but my outside doesn't get anywhere. Thank you, Larry. I've helped major countries. What I'm thinking of is those people that work social media, the former cops and all that, and CIA. They stole my stuff and got credit for it. Right. Because I could see people doing it. Right. I could see Saudi Arabia taking my advice. Thanks, Larry. I could see Trump and all his people doing what I told them to do with their, their own media corporations and stuff. That nobody ever fixed my life. I mean, if they'd have fixed my life back then, I'd have been okay. So again, a lot of people got credit and money off of it. Little clicks, and like it's always been, and God will have to judge it because it didn't fix here. Going for years, you need it to fix here. Right? Once it hits that certain point, then it's over. God can't fix it here, then He sends you all to hell. Right. And then He tries to fix it there. Well, because I'll tell you, God didn't create hell. His energy created hell because it was specified by creation. Creation has the capability to create. No, I've talked about my parameters for years, for decades. which means I made parameters so I can't do anything. But again, you possess me, you curse me. It didn't heal me. Again, it's in the scriptures if you need reference. Yeah, there was no. You never let me have anything. Again, the only thing you saw was me getting to a new place before they destroyed it. That's all you saw. There was no life. Why would we do this? And they go on to that one. Just what I said they are. The Satan incarnate. Satan does not have way. I don't care if they're the biggest church member in the world. Satan doesn't have way until these people get busy. They're trying to reverse it, but it's not working as well. Which means I'm that person and they're not. Again, they do it because they have money and all that over me. Again, the only reason I didn't have steroid shots already, trigger points, is because of them. Correct. Where I'd already had them, my allergies would have been less. My muscles would have relaxed. Because the needling does not work while you're getting massages later. Right. It may help to free that muscle for the moment on people that don't, because it's going to get irritated by the massage. So you need the steroid to keep it cool. On the phone call while I'm trying to schedule the appointments. I mean, come on. It doesn't get any more corrupt than that. More demonic than that. I'm telling my brother to get massaged and he won't go do it. Who knows? They might be around him. Right. He has money for them to come into his house. Right. Like I said, if I wasn't in government, I'd have had a normal life. Some kind of left government too. Try to find a normal life, but again, corruption took precedence. Oh, let me take the wrong one. Shoot. All right. I got to get rid of these. These muscle relax ones I got refunded. Oh, shoot, what are the other ones? Now, notice what would have happened if my cranial tissues didn't get tight. Everything would have stayed healed. No, you're not guilty of a crime because you react to psychological torture. I know it works. Biggest scammers in the world. Okay. Make an entire false psychological science so they can kill people. But that was delicious. That was absolutely delicious. Make another one here real quick. I'm still hungry. Little small pieces. Hors d'oeuvre size. Yep. I mean, you have to understand, this conversation has gone on for decades. They know what's happening. They know what they're doing. They know they shouldn't be doing it. They know they get paid millions of dollars if they do it. Today or tomorrow. Could be a little strange. I want to be so active in that place. They would have to act like all I want to do is have sex with a Latina woman so they can make it like some sort of form of racism, knowing that I'm not racist. Right. So that makes it okay for them to be racist. Right. Thank you. see what's going on here. Oh. Probably cursing real hard. That's probably why the Lord's having me stay on here to see, use up their curses, right? So they really bullowed my suit that I was going to wear today. That's okay. I got trousers, a blazer, shirt. I was able to get a new tie for $7.99 at TJ Maxx. Okay. Make sure. I just sit there all day. It don't matter what I say and what I don't say. Don't listen to them. They do it. It's part of their devil world. Right? They just try to make some sort of fraud out of it so you can call them a hero. That's the part they need. They crave called heroes for committing crimes. You have to understand your states are also responsible. If they hold PI licenses, your states are responsible. So you all could end up going to hell with them. Right? Wherever the source of their power is, their law enforcement credentials. Can't even believe it's like 5 years ago that 4 or 5 years ago I talked to that doctor on the teledoc that worked at. It was an Indian guy that worked at a hospital in like Dallas or something. I can't remember where it was, but he was like I forget what they call him. It's like the resident general practitioner that goes around to the different rooms, and if you have like a regular medical problem while you're inpatient, he'll take a look at it like a family doctor would. Right. And he told me, he says, it's pulling on the nerve endings. You got to get it to stop cramping and uncramping. You got to get it uncramped. And I tried, but I couldn't get anywhere. And again, if they'd let me be, I probably never would have left Tyler, Texas. And I would have stayed in that massage, and that may have worked. Right. Now, they took advantage of COVID. Like my brother tries to see, they're in his head. Oh, get him to say it's COVID. Right. They took advantage of COVID. Right. To do that to me. It's correct. They're like prime opportunity to kill people, Gotta wonder how many of those people may not have died if it wasn't for the deep state, Republican and Democrat. Remember, I had COVID and I tried to get to the medicine, they blocked it. Agree. The government's been up to all those years. No wonder we can't get health insurance forward. They're all willing it down because they don't want their victims to have health insurance. So of course, it affects many more people. You know, that case ain't going nowhere. Right. Thanks, sorry. Like my brother's like 86. You know what that means? Yeah, right. So let me look here. Where does former director Comey live? See what state he lives in. Whatever. No, Connecticut. Yeah, it's probably not going to go anywhere. You're not going to find a jury. Right. And the other location is DC. You know, I was totally healthy when I got transplanted. Right. Started riding my bike again. Everything was working. And I started packing. Everything's still there again. Oh, wait. He moved. Let's see if I can find out where he is. Wait a minute. I think you're. So Comey was the dag? No, when Luna was killed, or when Luna ended up dead, somebody showed up that was the dag. I thought he didn't look as tall as Comey. I only saw him down the hallway. Comey's like really tall, isn't he? Couldn't have been Comey. Maybe the one right before Comey. No, it can't. Wait. Okay, so he was 31st United States Deputy Attorney General in office. December 9th. Yeah, it had to be. It had to be Comey. That's weird. I thought he was a shorter guy. But essentially, he was in U.S. I went in the U.S. Attorney's office because I was working on a case or something. It was after hours. And I stepped in. And somebody said the Deputy Attorney General's here or something. And I looked down the hallway, and there he was. Maybe he was trying to get me to him. That can happen because I had inside information. Right. I didn't know how it worked back then. Right, Larry. Thank you, Larry. Thanks, Larry. But it had to be Comey because it wasn't right when John died. I don't believe it could have been the one previously. If it was that first, I guess I can't remember the date. But I guess wait, no, John was killed in December, right? Right. I always think it's November, but I think it's December. Or I can get confused. Right. Oh my God. God. No, same stuff they're doing to me. They did to John. That's why he ended up killing himself. Right. If he did kill himself, I mean, he could have been staged. Right. Staged by the Stooges. So it was Comey. That's weird. No, it was just weird. It was like something about the DAG. I went to the U.S. Attorney's office. Maybe they could hear me inside. Maybe that's what it was. Come with Comey shouldn't have did me dirty. He should have saved my life when he became director. Right. Well, he said the DAG came from D.C. to figure it out. I guess I can't remember how it was working. He was down the hallway. Was I going to see Brian Welch? I can't remember if I was going to go see Brian Welch. If was that his guy's name? The assistant U.S. attorney. I think that's where I was going. But I couldn't go. I rolled down there. Right. I think that's what was going on. I was talking to him about the case, about something. I remember that part. And then I think our discussion probably ended somewhere, and I had some ideas. So I was going back to talk to him. Right. I'm like, walking real fast like I used to. Coffee buzz. Now again, use Jerry Elvis. The Comey remembers it. Right. Let's see how nah, I don't think so. He would be stupid to do that, so he's not doing it. It's probably not worth the distraction, really, because people are so still frustrated from financial issues. So it doesn't really did before, right? Where you could just kind of shift their anger at the quality of their life into something else to get angry at. Right. Thank you, Larry. It was the Steve case, I guess. I don't know if I had it yet or not. I don't know if I had the Steve case. The Steve case was like next month, the month after. But it could have been in January that he showed up. Right. I can't remember. I think part of it was that the investigation had ran a certain course, and then he showed up. I think, or had run. So they had some information at that point. Right.
Southern District. Oh, he's the U.S. Attorney for Southern District of New York. Right. See? Thank you, Larry. Had a short tenure, huh? No less than a year. Then became Deputy Attorney General. Thank you, Larry. Southern District of New York's got a bad reputation for corruption. You're right. You weren't supposed to do this to me. You weren't supposed to steal all my information and claim it as yours. So what else? So now I'm gonna go outside and see if I'm better outside. I think this apartment is partly why I'm sick. I think it revolves on hot days. So it's, baking the walls and whatever's in there. Oh, my van's open. Oh my, oh my. My neighbor must have been thinking about it when he walked by. I just got the message. Hey, Randall. That's so sad that my one neighbor became an enemy. I just stop over and say hi to him real quick. Right. Oh my God. It was shaky Jake a little bit back then, but right. Thank you, Larry. All you have to do is let me find a woman. Everybody knows disabled veterans do better with a wife. And no, I'm not a wife beater by any stretch of the imagination, even though they've made me out to be that. No, I didn't. She attacked me all the time. My wife, yes, Jim, he was still alive. Fine, and they knew. Right. Right. Well, I got in the habit of buying her flowers and stuff when she would do those tirades. And again, every man that's ever tried to figure out how to end something with their wife that's unendable has apologized for what their wife has done and, just went along with it. Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry. No, I was a great husband, really. You all destroyed it. I mean, what can I say? I even believe the accident's their fault. If it isn't physical, it's metaphysical. Right. Well, what do you think you do when you curse me? My wife and I can't stay up. Right. Oh, they're just weirdos, man. I didn't even know this world existed. Right. We're all weirdos. I mean, I said "F you, Lenny" when Lenny harassed me, but it wasn't like I was cursing him. Right. No, they'd load me up with work. Again, it was a form of depletion. And then everybody would practice blocking me from getting my work done. Right. And then they all get paid. Man, 100%. Some of these people never worked a day in their life in reality. They're scammers. So I ended up with a Kansas City temple that's silver, and I prefer the gold, like a lapel pin. So I said something the other day, and the one missionary woman, young woman, she's like, "Oh yeah, I like that," or something. I forget what she said, but it seems like she was interested in it. I didn't say anything about it being silver or gold. I just told her that my order came in. Right. So I think she wants it. And I don't want it because it's silver. So the Lord may have been happy with her and wants her to get a little, because I already gave her a Christus, a gold Christus. So I'm going to give, I think there's three men, the two that are going to speak, and uh, an older guy about my age, I guess, or a little older, who's been trying to, help me with getting to the men's study and stuff after the class. Right, he's been encouraging me to go to that, so he's going to baptize me. Right, and he was in our Bible study. But what I think we need to do is we just need to have more Zoom Bible studies. We really do. Right. There's a woman who's a minister of a Zoom church out in I forget where it is. She contacted me and she told me you have to take a class. I mean, she was really cool about it and everything. And she said you have to take a class before we do it because there's just too many people from all over the world, different denominations, and they're not sure how to act in our in our Zoom church. Right? So for the sake of order, but she seemed real nice. Again, I'm not. I've never been really in a church with a female minister. But again, the key to the scriptures is that there is always progression in the scriptures. There's always more to learn about God. There's always more to know. There's always more to forgive. You have to understand, this stuff was going on in Naples also. Like everything I say that they're doing, they were doing everywhere I lived. I was just younger and a little more resilient, I should never have been allowed to do any of it. I could have had a peaceful life, been in a church. But I didn't even think of a church in Naples. Maybe it was because it was too close to when I had been operating in the churches. They used to have the preacher at Grace Fellowship say stuff. Trying to make me paranoid. And I'm not. I'm just right. So you have to make a paranoid world and hope I speak about it. They go, oh, that's not happening. Right. They didn't have to do anything. There's weirdos that wanted to kill me. That's all it really is. Right. I hope I heal because, I'm like on the cusp of feeling okay, but I just can't get there, Right. It just boggles my mind that I couldn't get to the supplement that I'm taking like 4 years ago because I took it like 6, 7 years prior, 8 years prior. And worked great. But I remember I was trying to think maybe I'm going to get some Nortest Andro or something. And they drove past me with a van with like metal identification, or not metal, like those stick magnetic identification things with the name, like it's the name of the company for the supplement. So again, right. The dude bowled it because I ordered it, and then for some reason he wouldn't ship it because like something was not perfect with the PayPal. I'm like, ah. Who knows? I made a healed front with it. And then after that, I couldn't get back to it. Oh, they know what they did. They were in my Amazon and everything. They, oh, we're just investigating crimes. Working for criminal enterprise is what they're doing. Why it's still early. Like a weird day. Haven't been to evening church in a long time. But I used to love church. I used to go all the time. Again, they tortured me away from it. They used preachers to do it. Ah, thanks, Larry. Thanks. I was actually going to move to New York, like one of those areas, but because I was looking to be with the Latino people. Right? I wanted to marry like a Latino woman, Latina. Right? It would have worked. Right? Just needed to find one. If you found one, Larry, she never would have left you. Never seen a man speak to women more than this guy. But there's no sex, like not trying to have sex, right? Quality conversation, or at least some sort of conversation. Thank you, Larry. No, I'd have been fully healthy. They knew what they were doing. They get the highest level of criminal enterprise and spy work. Mhm. Just trying to figure out where he lives. Is this still in Connecticut? Thank you, Larry. Thanks, Larry. It's gonna be. The investigation is going to be more careful next time. It's all it is. There's no way to prosecute it, right? Correct, Larry. Let me see. All right. The former FBI director and author of an exposed new book sold his house in the Connecticut town for $2.5 million. Inappropriate. Hmm. Where are we at now? But he sold it, right? Thank you, Larry. Actually lost money in the house, I guess. Huh? Right. But again, when you got that much money, it don't matter. Right. He's not trying to be Trump, so he's got plenty of money. Right. Oh, is he still there? Oh, Westbrook Crime now. I'm just trying to figure out where he lives. Just essentially the jury. Thanks, Harry. It'd be D.C. or where he lives, I guess. Right. Thanks, Larry. Oh, I forgot I was going here. I looked at something. So again, I don't know where Comey lives. Wherever he lives, it's probably not going to work either. There's no case. It's bizarre though. But it's not a crime. Right. It's funny, like in LDS, you can take Sudafed. Sudafed 24-hour. Agreed. Like all those cranial tissues that were crunched are now releasing, and boy, they're now transmitting like inflammation and stuff. So I don't know. Hopefully soon it gets better. How long have I been on? An hour and 35 minutes. They want me there early, but not this early. Just want to get it over with, really. Well, I just really, I mean, I might be not seeing, but I don't see that it's going to last. Something's going to happen. Right. Already operating. Right. Okay. You're saying the woman and the guys all of them do this to me are stone cold nuts, but nobody can say anything. Because then you lose your job. Pay a lot of people to do shit to you. The budget is like unexplainable. Missing money everywhere. Nah, they should have been forced to stay away from me. Right. That's real law enforcement. Wanted this one suit, but I mean, it's a great deal, but it's still kind of expensive. Right. The pants were the same price. That'd be great with that. No, actually, double the price. I mean, it's a very. I'm sure it's a very popular suit. Uh, uh, I get a good deal if I buy them at 38. Actually, 38 is right. A 32 length. Right. But then I have to get them shortened. It's probably another. I don't even know what that costs. Like $15 now. Right. Almost the same price. May 21st. Not too bad. I just wish the pants were more in line with the other price bands. Hmm. Hmm. Or I lost another couple inches. That's like an inch and a half, I think. I can buy that really cheap pair. I might do that and then just go on a diet and keep walking. Hmm. And my cranial tissues are just really irritated. They're too tight. And you can't just go to any massage therapist to get them massaged. I just remember she showed me the gua sha or whatever they call it. She told me to buy that. Maybe if I use the gua sha. my cranial tissues are. I couldn't. It wasn't transmitting the pain because they were so cramped. I just wish I could have woke up to this in Tyler, Texas, or even in Amarillo, and I would never move from there, and I wouldn't have gave away my stuff. Right. And it just keeps going back because I was trying to get into a 2 bedroom, and they willed me down. And now I know. I was like, should I go to the 2 bedroom or should I go straight into the, you know, the because it was all hard floors in the 2 bedroom, or should I go into the motel Studio Six? And I went to the Studio Six like a dummy, right? And COVID, COVID was coming, and that was going to be my like hideout and hang out there until it runs its course, And I got sick in there. Right. If I had a 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, it would have worked. Then all my furniture would have been in there, right? And I'd have been taking salt baths because I had 2 baths. Right. I got this big gua sha. I can get it to ride on my chin or the side of my jaw. Ah, ah. Woo! That worked a little bit. There's a lot of lactic acid built up. She finally got somebody who could say something that made sense. Ah, ah. But I'm going to get steroid shot in these muscles as quick as possible. That's what I needed. Jesus, I can't believe that we didn't shoot it with steroid yet. Oh my God. So they're watching me, trying to, I had a couple of options. First, I was going to get this Hummer and drive up to North Dakota, which I should have done. I couldn't get to that, right, because they wheeled me down. That's why you don't let them stalk people. Or I wouldn't even have been in Texas when it hit. Only thing I couldn't get to is like what was I going to do with my storage stuff in storage. But I must have been thinking leave it because then I was thinking of getting the Hummer and just leave it in storage and travel up to North Dakota and figure it out later. Right. Hmm. Yeah. They still, I have this message from Pastor Chat, feeling overwhelmed, chat with Pastor Chat, but, there's nobody there but just either a voice or a typing words. And, it's a bizarre thing, right? Agreed. By now, there should have been, video chat and all that. I mean, obviously, the churches are not moving where they need to. Again, they had some additional stuff around COVID, right? And I couldn't find anything. Nothing was making sense. I tried getting to the church again back then, and I couldn't. Right. And some of the people involved in doing this to me were fired. So I don't think that's why they were fired, but. Oh. Scraping the muscle. That's what I just did. Yeah, there's no doubt they knew taking me out of massage was going to cause some serious disability. Right. Again, they've done it to other people. Well, who do we do it to? You're victims, just like every other crime. I'm saying this because I'm going to be baptized today and I'm stressing out. No, nothing could be further than the truth. There she goes. Whoa! Oh, she's thinking, I got a rise out of it. Right. And then she launched her little demonic self. Splat. Miss Nobody. We can start it all up again. We can. Really, we can. I'll tell you that right now. There's millions of all of you. So don't try to act like it's a one-on-one. Just in this nation alone, there's a million devils that do what I say they do. Right. Thanks, Larry. I was like, guys, I don't think I'm expecting any Amazon. I got my shoes over here, but probably not comfortable. Right. Trying to figure out how to get this shoe stretcher thingy out. I haven't put these shoes on in a long time. Now they're leather. I'm not partial to leather. It's pretty tight. Yeah, it's a little bit tight. I I got the other socks on, the fat socks. I'd have to put the skinny socks on. Set this on the side. I must have missed the count. Yeah, middle line thing there, but they call count, I guess. The escape. Right. Well, that means that somebody missed it in the middle of the night. Count. One of the things at night, sometimes because they just don't want to do it, right? So somebody might get fired 8 hours after escape. My goodness. Looks like they're finding them. Pretty so. The question is, did anybody have access to that area behind the sink to do some work, or did somebody tell them about it? Like, how did they know to go through that area? I'll have to get ready in a little bit. So they banked on like that Justin Smollett era to say, well, something like that. If he got himself in trouble, I mean, it's all bullshit, right? Try to act like it was something other than what it was. I lived a pretty darn quiet life, really, in the beginning. Didn't say anything, kept to myself, and then kept the execution. No excuse for any of it. So if I walk down the road, there's like, so, so you like that. You say the war. It's like, yeah. Cops, right? Because like one of us, like in New Jersey, he would tell me what the cops were doing, in my case and what they were saying, right? I'm sorry. Oh, corrupt. Last one. Worst thing I probably did was stay at Naples. Right? It's a nowhere place, you know. Well, because back then the reach wasn't like it is today, so I could have gotten somewhere. Sterilizing my sinus rinser. Yeah, one of my younger days is what I was into, all the spiritual stuff. But then we curse it, nothing could be done. Then they bring in additional operators once you go to a church. I mean, they're definitely operating out of that church, but I don't know how powerful they'll be in the church. They operate out churches, right? They play games with churches. Churches aren't real, man. Church, it's real today. Now there are real people in church, but there's no church that's fully real, right? They operate on the concept that everybody has skeletons in their closet. So they go on a fishing expedition to figure out what that skeleton is. And even if they don't figure it out, because they don't need to, all they need to do is make the person think they know something, and then they'll do whatever they say. Right? If you're in a position in a church and it seems like they know the skeleton, related so somebody doesn't get to be in your church. It wasn't on me. There was no way for me to stay 100% in any of those churches. They sell out. They sell out. That's just the way it is, right? I'm not going to sit around and hang out in a sellout. I'm not saying it's totally sold out at this point, but that could happen overnight in reality. Right. If I was, if that doctor had used steroid, my cranial tissues would have probably relaxed on their own. Right. Agreed. Gotta clean those sinuses. Back at you, person that's thinking something. I don't mean back at you the same way you all did. I'm not doing the reversal. Something new coming at you. Whoa. You actually can't just rinse it. You actually have to take an active, the breast thing. Then you have to close control. and suck the water back out. There's a lot of breath work you can do that makes it more effective. Times I rinse my sinuses. Also, it's gotten better, but today. Maybe it's allergies are increasing. See over. Actually, it looks like it's a little down today. I don't know. Let's see what we're looking at. We're doing it. See history. It's just down a little bit, not much. Yeah, it is actually up higher. It's been higher for the last 5 days or so. Right. Pollen wise. Could be the mold. Grass is up too. It's just not too high, but it's going up. Got a few more minutes here. That was part of getting ready to clean the sinuses. I recommend it for anybody. I actually was going to start 5 years ago until the deep state broke into my. Wanted to show me that they were there. The day after I received it. Thanks, Larry. Not a person in the world that wouldn't be affected by it. Their bullshit is bullshit. They've never been truthful, will never be truthful, and they'll end up in hell. I'm crazy? Well, fine. But that's the truth of you. Actually, but fine means something. Some guy said that to one of them. And that probably brings up a memory of some sex she had. Slut. That's who they really are. Believe me. Trying to play like they're real Christians and stuff. Right. Always remember when you rinse your sinuses to bend over and let it drain out of your nose. Right. Because it gets kind of trapped in certain areas. Uh, yeah, they actually have a shtick that they use and try to convince you of something. Right. 100%. It's been, they say, right? They become Jesus in your life, right? What they're trying to do is get me to go to uh, a more expensive service. Right. Right. Phone. Keep my power up in the top, and just talk to you when I'm in the shower. I think I'll do that. But what I actually have to fashion them out. I'm going to have to put the phone up so I can see it and know whether they've blocked it or not. Right. Up here. Talk to you from the shower. All right, I got to find my case for my hearing aids. I was able to purchase some generic tail. They're called hearing aid locks. So they stay in your ear. The other one, they gave me a longer wire, but what I really needed were the hearing aid locks. A stick that rides in your ear ridge and in your ear. Right. That's my spare pair, which, depending on what the VA gets me, that might end up being my spare pair, or spare pair. I don't know. I never did it. I should have just, again, they were in my mind because they knew a little more specific information. So, like, while you're attending a church, the deep state, like if you're a government employee, the deep state may be taking over your church because it wants to execute you. So you're just, honestly going to church, wiring in, doing church stuff, and the deep state is operating and taking over your church. I mean, they're famous for it. The biggest pieces of garbage in the world. And it's not a political party, it's in all political parties. Right. Agreed. Out with that. That they were working for criminals. I can't find a reason why they're doing cop, but why are they doing cop? 100%. Working for criminals. It's all a scam. Everything they tell you is a scam. Been a scam since day one. Will be a scam all the way through it. The truth is not in them, and their father is the devil. If I get baptized, there's probably somebody that would have paid $1 million to any of them if they could block the baptismal. Right. That's how it really works. Thanks, Larry. Maybe not $1 million, but a sizable bonus. Right. That's how unholy the world is. That's how unholy the government is. And they come in and they tell you, that's dangerous. That counts dangerous. You have to do what we say. Otherwise, you'll be in danger. 100%. One big scam, one end to the other. Nah, the dude, the VA wasn't quite the dude at Costco. He's pretty glum. I think he's got PTSD. I went in there and it's just like a morgue. It has the same like energy of a morgue. And the dude's just like, so like, I don't know. It's just like speaks in monotone, you know. the guy, Israel at Costco is all like, he probably got it from his parents were missionaries, so he was probably pretty active with people and right, gregarious. It's like a young Larry. Thanks, Larry. But I just couldn't get to it. And what were the models that he was going to order and yeah. 100%. All right. I got to take my hearing aid out. my things that like is kind of a drag. Like you might know them as as a PI or something like that, or you may even know them as an average person, and they something's going on in your church, and they seem to be beneficial to your family, and that's how they do it. Well, stay peaceful, praise God. Sometimes it's just an official law enforcement thing, or all of the above at once, hit you from different angles, trying to manipulate you.